business and everything?
It's going all right. I have a pastry business.
Yeah.
You remember it?
Yes.
Yeah, so I was telling someone I all of a sudden got really busy with like my co-op where I live. I live in like a single co-op. So now I'm like volunteering in the kitchen, which is weird because it's like, okay, now I got to split my
like,
time.
I have a business.
Yeah, I was like, I have a business. So now I got to balance my time because I'm doing all this volunteer free and I need to be over here.
Focused on your business.
Yeah. So we had just elections for the first time, so I'm an officer. So it's kind of like, all right, let's get back on track with some purple stuff.
Yeah, like hey, I gotta focus. I gotta put my oxygen mask on for a little while here.
Thank you. Okay, here we go.
I know how to.
Now I can help you.
Right, exactly. That's funny. So, do you usually see like a seasonal uptick in your business?
You know what? It's really not seasonal. It's based on how much I put into it. So I have somebody here helping me with my revamping my business plan because not only is it prepared pastry, it's also a catering business where I sell like Filipino soul food. So it's kind of like a little niche kind of market. So my daughter is half Filipino, so I learned how to make the food a little bit. So, and that's where the ube, the purple stuff comes from. So a lot of people haven't heard of it, but a lot of people have.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So what is it?
It's basically a purple sweet potato. Purple yam. So you know, like a lot of people make sweet potato desserts. This is a lot of Filipinos use. It's one of their main ingredients. It's a staple in their community.
Yeah.
And it's grown in the Philippines. It's a purple yam. And it's called ube.
Interesting.
UBE. So like if you put that into like Instagram, you'll see all these purple desserts pop up, and it's so overwhelming. But I focus on just a few, you know. So when you look at ube, there you go. It's like boom, all the purple stuff.
Wow. So it reminds me of there's a Hawaiian starch that's purple.
Yeah.
And I forgot what it was called, but when my family and I did a Hawaii trip, Poi, I think is what it is, P-O-I.
That's probably what they call the purple yam.
So, and it's like some sort of like starch. It didn't change the flavor of anything, other than it just made it purple.
It's really mild.
Yeah.
So it's really based on how you flavor it.
Yeah.
So what most Filipinos do, they use the purple extract flavoring. So it's really milder than a sweet potato.
Yeah.
So it's kind of coconutty. So you can pair it with coconut or pair it with ube extract, and that's how you pretty much bring out the flavor. So what I focus on is what I was doing before I was doing ube was like my own cookies. I had a cookie business. So I incorporated into my cookies, I incorporated into my pound cake, I incorporated making purple sweet potato, I make a purple sweet potato cheesecake. So I don't try to make Filipino desserts, I just use the ingredient to make soul food desserts.
Right.
So
sweet. And it makes it even more unique.
Yeah, and then that way it makes it kind of familiar to people's palate, where they're not eating something that's so different they don't know what it is. Now, Asians will know what ube desserts are because a lot of them are used with rice. So they'll make like mochi desserts that really gummy.
Yeah, the ice cream. Yeah,
the ice cream mochi.
My wife and I love those. Oh
right.
It's so good.
You get those at Whole Foods.
Even at like Trader Joe's, they've got them. And
so Trader Joe's offers a lot of ube stuff. It's seasonal though.
Okay. Because these, I mean, my wife will eat the blood orange ones. Oh my gosh, they're so good. And they are actually purple on the outside, so that could be part of that. I don't know, or just a dye or something.
I didn't know that. Okay.
But they're purple on the outside, and then it's blood orange on the inside. Ice cream.
Really?
So they just fill it with ice cream. It's like a gum paste.
Right. No, I've gotten mine like in Whole Foods, and they had different flavors, but they actually had ube.
Okay.
And so.
See, I don't know if these do or not, and they probably don't. I would guess.
So there's a guy who's actually a Filipino baker, pastry chef, and he's got a bakery in Midtown Detroit.
Okay.
It's called JP Makes and Bakes.
Okay.
And he makes, he doesn't even make a lot of ube desserts, but he does have a cookie that he makes, and then he incorporates just a few items, but we also make like Filipino like lunches and dishes, changes it every day. So what's weird is that Filipino food is so good, but you don't see a lot of representation.
I was gonna say I don't know that I've ever actually truly had
You haven't.
Filipino dish.
You haven't.
Is it? I mean, that's just. I haven't met a whole lot of Filipino people around
Right.
the area.
Right. Because first of all, they're kind of. I don't want to say they're a tight-knit community.
Yeah.
So they kind of stick together. So you would have to know of a store. You would have to know of a specific restaurant, and they're usually small. And so, but there's a lot of Filipino Americans or Malaysians, which is like what my dad is. So that's why I just incorporated both soul food and Filipino food.
That's awesome.
And so when I do my presentation, I actually want to present the food and the desserts. So I'm kind of working on it. I got somebody I'm working with here on my business plan, and then I got somebody helping me with my copyright. So one of the Pamela Mack. She's one of the organizers. She's not here a lot, but every now and then she's here. But she's one of the organizers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She's one of the.
And is she doing the copywriting or the play?
Yeah, the copywriting. Yeah, she's an attorney.
Sweet.
Yeah. So every now and then she'll be here. Like Tanisha's here every week, but they kind of work together.
Here, I'll if there's anything that I can ever help you with,
okay.
I help people with their money. So. So if there's ever any like questions that you may have about like, okay, what comes once you're in a spot where you're ready to start putting some money away or managing cash in your business, I can help you with some of those things.
That's exactly what I need.
Everybody, thank you for coming today. If we can quiet down and grab a seat, grab coffee. I promise we will be back later. If we can quiet down so we can get started today.
You in here? Oh, go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Oh, it sounded like a very youth group in here. Good morning. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. My name is Carmen. I'm the community manager here at Incubizo, which is the venue that you're in. Give it up for Incubizo. We've been doing this for over a year and a half is the now, which is amazing. So we want to welcome you all for coming. It is National Black Business Month. We've got lots of Black business owners in the room, so welcome. We're glad you're here today. There is a tablet. Where's it? It's over here. Excellent. So if you've been here before, it will say, hey, is this you? And you say yes. Make sure you click down at the top. The reason why we are doing attendance this way is for the venue. So we have a partnership with the Madison Heights Hazel Park Chamber, and this helps us report our metrics accurately on how many businesses are being impacted each week here at 1NC, okay? We won't spam you, I promise. So who is a first timer in the room? Raise your hand. Keep your hand up. Dana's gonna do this while I explain. 1 Million Cups is a nationwide program. There's chapters all across the country. Oh yeah, we have something for you, sorry. Nice bicep shoulder workout this morning. And so we're here to be the connection. We're here to link you up with resources like Oakland Thrive and SCORE. And we're here to answer questions that startup companies have, because we have all been at that starting line. And so we are able to talk to each other and say, hey, don't get that storefront yet, or I know a guy, or think about this first, or let me work with you. So that's why we're here today. So if you have presented before, can you just raise your hand? Show the new time. That's 1, 2, 10. There's about 10 of us in here that have presented. So that tells something to the newcomers that we keep coming back even after we present. So it's impactful no matter what industry you're in, no matter if you've been here 83 times or 3, this is gonna be a good time today, okay? And we have the organizing committee. You can raise your hand if you're in the organizing committee. They have very cool name tags on. I don't.
Soon.
No problem. So we have two committees. We have the organizer committee that is structured through Kaufman. And then if you just want to volunteer, show up, set up, tear down, shush people up at 10:30, we also have a process for that. So if you just want to volunteer when you can, reach out to one of us with the tag or myself after, and we'll see how to get you involved so that you can help this thrive. This is the venue. We have a newsletter. It's awesome. I make it. We do community lunches. We do workshops. We bring people from outside of our community in because we want to hear from people that are leveled up from us, right? We don't all just want to be in the same tiny little group that's like, oh, my business sucks too. So we're here to encourage each other, get some insight from folks that have been doing this for longer than we have. Coffee sponsor. Where are you? Hello. Today our coffee sponsor is RJ Telecommunications, and if you want to be a coffee sponsor, this is what you do. Christina right here is the coordinator for coffee sponsorships, and all you need to do is email her, let her know the date, or ask what dates we need. Right now we're pretty good through October, and there's about 50 people, 65 sometimes, so you bring coffee, you bring snacks, and then we all have a good time together. Just a little calendar for your brains. These are the presenters that are coming up, so if you have this, if you want to take a photo of it, that's fine. If you know somebody that could be a resource to any of these businesses presented on the wall, bring them too, so that we are actively engaging with each other in the content that's being presented. And then, lastly, I think, if you want to present, you can do that too. So there is a form that you fill out online through the 1 Million Cups platform, and then you get set up with a coach. They give you time, one-on-one, to build your deck, get your questions streamlined so that you can talk in front of a room of 60 people without being nervous, because we're all here to help. Our coffee sponsors, come on up. Let's hear from them.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you all for coming. There's a lot of bodies here. I don't want to step in front of you. You're good, Mom.
Sweet.
There we go. But thank you all for coming. We thank you for having us. My name is Nick. I'm a representative at RJ. Just to tell you a little bit about us. We started 30 years ago in telecommunications. For those of you who don't know what telecommunications is, our business was phones. But as the landscape changed, as technology has changed, we've now made the transition into IT. So just to tell you a little bit about ourselves and about what we do and about our services, I'd like to invite up our IT director, Jason.
Good interaction. I'll try to. Hello, how's everybody going today? Good morning. All right. That's good. My name is Chase. I'm the IT director at RJ Telecommunications. And Nick is right. We used to do just telecommunications, routing, business phones. And if we can turn on the third slide, please. This was our bread and butter for a long time. Everybody needs phones, right? This was something that never went away. But as technology changed, our business plan, our structure had changed. Development, all these type of things. But I do want to mention about our telecommunications. This is a great part of our business. You know, how many kind of struggle with work-life balance? How many? Right, exactly. The thing is, of course, we all are very interested in growing our business. It's one of the great things about having your own business is to see it grow. It's like your baby growing, right? But we do want to have an awesome show. That's exactly what we love to do at RJ Telecommunications. We like to help ones with their personal answering service. Not only the physical phone itself, but we do all in-house routing. We have anything you can think of. We can make it so, you know, maybe you don't want everybody knowing your cell phone number. You can switch that over so you don't have those calls late at night saying, you know, you guys have the coffee ready or, you know, whatnot at 3 a.m. Nobody needs that, right? So we can, well, maybe some of us need that, right? But the truth is everybody needs some type of work-life balance, and we are here to help and provide. At RJ, if you can go back to the slide too, I'm sorry. All right. So this is kind of what we have kind of grown into, and we're going to take it up, probably evolved really into a full-on IT company. We have our CEO, who's, I won't say where he is, but he's hiding in the back somewhere, judging me at this moment. And then me, Eric, and quite a few, this is not everybody in our team, but I remember we started a few years ago really honing in on the IT things, and the fact that we've seen it grow to the height it is now, and it's only growing, is so encouraging for us, and we'd love to help you guys do the same, or any of our clients. And I had a couple statistics and everything to bring up, but actually before that, something I was thinking about, I've seen it somewhere online. It says, it's a quote, it says, "You don't think about technology until it stops working." And that's the truth, isn't it? All businesses now kind of work on technology. Maybe it's your phone, maybe it's your internet, whatever it is. You don't think about it. We take it for granted until it's a point where it goes down. Now our whole business is, on fire. So what we like to do is, at RJ, it's the same as we did for phones. We like to take that heat off of you. Our passion is to help your passion grow, not thinking about technology at all. Let us be those people, the guy at 3 a.m. typing on the computer, trying to get your computer to work or your internet to work. Let us be that, so you can continue to do what you do, which is your passion. And what we do have is, we don't just do small businesses, we do large businesses, but we do love to see other people grow, just as we have, and we are continuing to grow. So we do have different tiers, of course. I really think that everybody does need the fundamental tier. Even if it's not with us, that includes some form of virus and malware protection. I do have just a few, and please stop me whenever I'd like to stop talking about this forever. Okay, we got about 1 minute, so I'll go. The statistics on some of these things, just for 2025, it says that over 2,200 cyber attacks happen every single day. So by the end of this, 8 attacks have already happened. Over 68 of those attacks, 68% are all detected ransomware threats. So these things happen. You always think, oh, it's not going to be me. I'm just a small growing business. Look at anybody. Just as we subscribe to Microsoft 365, they subscribe to packages to try to attack your computer. It's ransomware as a service, as they call it. So we got to think about these things. Maybe you don't want to think about them. Let us think about them. Let whoever your IT vendor is, even if it's not us, let them handle that, because it is a very important part of the business. And then our last slide, and this is really just based on everything that we do, which is our difference. We always keep customer retention long-term because we are available when you need us. There's no computer answering the service. It's always going to be us. We always hated when we had to call somebody, they didn't answer. So that's what we try to do, is be there for you at any time. And again, you're not going to be in a waiting queue. There's going to be a real person at the other side, because again, we are passionate about your passion. So let's help.
Just to close out again, I want to say thank you for having us. If everybody could give a quick thank you to Derek at Luminesco Coffee for helping provide the coffee for us. I hope that overview of what we do was a bit insightful, even if you don't use us. Just, it's important that you keep your data protected, so that you can see your business continue to grow and thrive. If anybody has any inquiries afterwards, after all the talking and presentations, feel free to talk to us. You can set up a consultation with us, and we have some of our folders over at the desk if you go and get some coffee. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, so what we're doing today is a little different of a format. So we asked you all to ask questions, and these are our experts. So, one by one, we're gonna do this with a timer. And if there's time, which there should be, we'll be able to get 1 or 2 live questions answered from the audience. So, first up, David Benjamin, come on down. You pick. Here's this. David Benjamin is an expert in sales and marketing, driving online visibility and revenue growth. All right. David makes it a point to prioritize and fully understand a business's direct needs and delivers measurable metrics, strategies that are sustainable and effective. So, David, you can stand or sit. Do you want to stand or sit? I feel like sitting.
All right.
I feel it's fancy.
You sitting? All right.
Sitting is fancy.
I take a nap.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna start this timer. And it's right here for a time. So, David.
Yeah.
Should I create content for myself or outsource it?
So that question is one that each person has to ask themselves. There's a series of questions. Number one, how much time do you have to create content on a consistent basis? Some people just don't have time because they're running their business, they're starting their business. There's a lot to it, and they just can't do it, or they don't have the skill set, right? They don't know how to create engaging content. They aren't able to create videos that garner attraction, and so then you have to ask yourself, do I have a budget to hire someone to do it? And not everyone does. There has to be a solution and an answer, and that's for each individual person to figure out.
Excellent answer. So, some believe that you should be on all social media platforms all the time, no matter the industry.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on that?
So, number one, I think it really depends on what industry is your business in, because some businesses perform really well on some platforms versus others. If you're in a very photogenic industry, restaurant, the arts, right? Anything that visually is appealing, then you want to land on those platforms that showcase those things, like Instagram, probably maybe Facebook, TikTok. If you're in a more technical skill industry, law firm, maybe real estate, then you're looking at things like LinkedIn. There are some niche social media platforms, and so you have to do your research to figure out which platforms are where your audience is spending time. I wouldn't suggest trying to just go on all of them because someone told you to. That's not really a clear strategy. You have to think through how much time do I have and where am I going to get the best use. It's always easy to add a platform. I wouldn't suggest doing them all and then stopping some of them because you find out that it's not providing value or you don't have time to do it justice.
Yeah, that makes sense. With that in mind, how do you know if it's working?
Sure.
Like, you can be on there, is it about the likes? Is it about the conversion, sales conversion? Like, how do you know that what you're doing is working?
Right. Well, you first have to have clear, defined strategy and goals, which we'll talk about probably a little bit later, but you need to know what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So for a lot of businesses, it's how do I get people to discover us maybe on social media, but ultimately I want to send them to my website. The website's really where I can sell my product or services. So then you just take a look at your analytics on your website. Am I getting people to come over from my social media platforms? Is it growing over time? So number one, you probably want to be always growing your social media network. So are more and more people following me over time? Are more people engaging with my content? Are people sharing my content, right? If you know what your goals are, then you can create content to achieve those goals. And then you just measure, am I being effective in reaching the goals that I've set out for? And each person will have different goals based on the type of business they have and what it is they're trying to accomplish.
Excellent. So when you are on a platform and you're you're doing your thing and you want to bring in an influencer, what are some things you would suggest to pitch yourself to someone with a big following for that partnership or for that collaboration?
Number one, I would say do your research. Figure out who are the types of influencers that are going to be most impactful for your business and your industry. Figure out who they've partnered with before, things that they like, that they're interested in. Oftentimes, influencers will post not only client content, but personal content. You know, maybe they like to work out, maybe they have a pet. Whatever it is that you can learn from them, it's a lot like dating, right? You want to figure out, how am I going to connect with someone and show them that I know who they are and why it would make sense for both parties to get involved. So that's the second part, is we know what's in it for you, but what's in it for the influencer? And kind of think about it from that angle too. What is it that I can provide to them, whether it's my network that might be sizable, that they can get some additional exposure. Maybe it's I'm giving them a product in exchange for their service, and it's a product that I can tell they like because of the research I've done. Most influencers on social media will either link their email, or if they don't, you know, their website, which might have their contact. So the bottom line is, do your research. Don't just rush to have outreach to influencers without a clear message of why you want to connect with them. And the last thing I would say is, have someone who really knows what they're doing look at your outreach before you send it. Maybe they have some input or thoughts of what would be more successful. And the last thing is, if you're really looking to work with influencers, no better thing to do than to come to our upcoming How to Connect with Influencers event. I believe it's on September 29th. We'll be promoting it later. We're gonna have 3 awesome influencers that are gonna share some of the do's and don'ts, and you'll have a chance to ask questions. So it's a great chance to learn even more about how to connect with them.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Timers are amazing. There's 44 seconds. So we're going to take a question from the audience. Does anyone have one question for David?
What are your thoughts on affiliated marketing? We have a couple partners with various partners that we have on our site, and we basically get, you know, per click, there's a funnel behind it, right? So what are your thoughts about affiliated marketing?
Well, affiliate marketing is a very successful concept when done properly, right? So what is it that the person, the affiliates, what are they getting out of it? Do they, so I guess the long and short of it is, it can be very successful, but you have to measure, you know, what you're doing, is it being effective? And it's kind of a hard question to like give specifics without having more specific information. But as a concept, affiliate marketing can be very effective. What I find is a lot of businesses go, well, I just want to find people that are going to help sell my product, but they haven't thought through how it can be a great partnership and how it can be a win-win for everyone involved.
Excellent. Give it up for David Benjamin. Good. How was that? Was that a lot to just like digest, or was that okay? How do we feel? Thumbs? Okay, cool. Our next presenter helps entrepreneurs get clients by creating simple sales processes that make buying easy. Please hold.
I got it.
I need another hand. Oh, man.
I had it.
Oh, just kidding. My notebook was wrong. Psych! Okay, just kidding. Our next panelist has over 25 years of experience in banking and underwriting. Lisa Davis, come on down. Where you at, girl? Give it up for Lisa Davis. Look at the dress. A moment for the dress. Give me a mic in a moment, okay? We love it. We love it. Lisa now serves as a financial coach, helping small business owners learn what they need to have, know, and do in order to get funded. So, Lisa Davis, I have questions. Okay. No, we just ain't got all day. She do it all. Okay, timer is going. Here we go. So, what does it mean to be bankable, Lisa?
Bankable is a mindset. Bankable means it's kind of like a combination of a wealth mindset and just an ownership mindset. It means that you understand that the bank is looking at you from a risk perspective and not a credit score perspective, and that you understand you got to pay your bills to borrow more money.
But with credit, is bad credit the same as no credit?
No, bad credit sucks. No credit, you can possibly get a loan, but with bad credit, that means you got a whole bunch of credit from other places and you didn't pay those people back, and now you look like you're a high risk. If you're a high risk, just like if you loan, if Ray come around the corner, he said he wants $10, you gonna go look for Ray next Sunday to get your $10 back, right? Well, if the bank loans you $20,000, they gonna come looking for that money when it's time for you to make your payment. If you don't make your payment, that's bad credit. Now, nobody's gonna lend you any money again. But if you've never borrowed, no credit is an even keel. That means now you have an opportunity to prove if you're gonna be a good risk or a low risk or a high risk.
And while you need business credit, how do I build it?
How do you build business credit? So, and we've got a banker here. So, I am a former banker of 25 years. As a banker, we lend out monies at $250,000, $500,000, $1 million. When you get to those levels, you're building some business credit. But if we're in here and we're startups and we're talking $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, the best way to build credit is your personal credit, because we're gonna look at that. It's hard to build business credit under the scale of $500,000 because you're really not in that digital footprint of real business credit. So American Express gives out a $20,000 line of credit. That's business credit. UPS gives out a line of credit for logistics. That's a line of credit. That's building credit. Even your credit cards. We're still gonna have you personally guaranteed if you're a small business with a small business loan. So your personal credit is what's gonna take you over the hump. You'll get to business credit when you get over that $1 million mark in sales, revenue generating costs, and all those things, and you get to the higher level of conventional business financing.
So with that in mind, as a small business owner, under that $100,000, is it more feasible to think about getting a loan or getting a line of credit for your business?
When I started my business in 2017, I got a $10,000 small business loan and I made $108,000 with that. I paid that loan off. When I came back out of corporate in 2023, I got another $10,000 business loan. The first one I got was for to get a computer, do marketing, and da-da-da-da-da-da. The one I just got right now in 2023 when I came back out of corporate was to redevelop my brand image. So I hired somebody to redesign my brand image and do some business development money, $10,000. I'm about to pay that off too, and I made probably a couple $100,000 off of that loan. So when you think about taking out a loan, you think about, I want to take this loan and make times 10. I don't want you to take out a loan and pay your bills. I want you to take out a loan and market. I want you to take out a loan and develop a business plan that's going to get you some sales and get you more revenue generated, right? A lot of times when I talk to small business owners, they want to now hire somebody like a David or a Renee, Valerie. And Valerie might charge 20 grand, right? $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month to do a sales strategy, which is business development. As a small business, we're thinking, okay, I'm gonna grind hard and then I'm gonna make that money so that I can pay Valerie. But a bankable mindset says, let me write my business plan, let me factor in David, let me factor in Valerie, and let me go ask for a $40,000 loan so I can do a small business loan to take my business to the next level. But that business plan has to be really, 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 really well written. And you gotta have some revenue. Don't come in here and you're making $1,000 a month, talking about you need 40 grand to take it to the next level. Tell us more.
Well, all
You
right.
got a table over there. You you got stuff going on.
Yeah, get away from my lettuce so they can see my picture. Right? I'm giving out free planners, so I brought a free planner to help y'all with your bankable mindset. The planner is a savings challenge planner. I got 50. So 50 people can get a free planner to help you save your money. People always ask me, when's a good time to buy a house? When's a good time to buy a car? When's a good time to get a business loan or start a business? When you can save $5,050 by saving for 100 days, and then you have money that's not allocated to anything, cash money unallocated that you can use to invest in your business, in your house, in your car. That's when it's a good time to invest in those things. So if you can discipline yourself enough to get through the 100 days, it might take you 300 to do the 100, but if you can discipline yourself enough to get that money saved up, now you can invest it into something that can make you more money. That's starting with that bankable mindset. Bankable mindset is what you invest. It's ownership, it's investing. It's investing to make your money make money. Grab some photos of him passing out the planners. Listen, content is everything. Social media is free. If y'all are not on social media, give me one second. Y'all see this? I am so all over social media. I have a nonprofit that gets funded. I have a for-profit that gets contracts, and I'm bringing out a fintech by the end of this year that's going to be funded. And an AI trusted banker. Y'all gotta keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. I got all the QR codes so y'all can go check and see if it's real, but I'm not gonna let y'all see. Y'all the first person to hear about Fund Live, but I've been working on this all year. Fund Live is gonna be a fintech to help small businesses get funded, okay? I'm launching it here kind of softly and quietly, but
I did it too.
I didn't tell anybody about it yet, so.
Well, thank you, Lisa. We got one question from the audience. Who's got one for Lisa? Or you can talk to her later. Hold on.
Sorry. We're a startup. We do digital strategy tools, including AI. We have apps and online classes. All of our content is digital native. We are right now fundraising. So how do you advise startups who are bringing in various funding from various different stakeholders?
Yeah, so I started in 2017 as a consulting firm. As a consulting firm, some of my clients were like, we can fund you, but we can't pay you. We need you to get a nonprofit, so I got a nonprofit. How do you fundraise? People have to believe in your mission. I work within my industry, and they know that I'm gonna get the job done, so they fund my programs and things. As a startup, you need to be all over everywhere, telling people what you do, and finding people that buy into your mission and vision. Because there are 100 million gazillion businesses out here that need funding. When I was a banker, my budget was $35 million to fund for 5 states. You're competing against thousands and thousands and thousands of businesses. So why would I fund you as a startup when, as somebody that's a funder, my job is to invest into something that's gonna have sustainability and be here 10 years from now, and I don't know if you have that sustainability, so how can you prove that, right? And then also, how are you communicating to the people that you want funding to fund you, right? So there is no secret sauce.
Yeah. Also, just to clarify, I agree with everything you just said, but for me, I understand as I bring in new investors, I am investing money, right?
And so when I said, how do you use these various financial instruments, I want to make sure I'm not diluting my equity, and I'm putting these funding sources in the right order so that I maintain as much equity over my business as possible. That's kind of right. But I can talk to you later.
Yeah, because I'm 100% owner in everything I got. No equity.
Amazing. Give it up for Lisa Davis. Here she is. Here she is. Valerie J, everybody, come on down. Valerie helps entrepreneurs get clients by creating simple sales processes that make buying easy. Her ability to provide a practical, measurable, and executable service is unmatched, and she's amazing in pink. Your services that you provide are genuine without being salesy, and I'm proud to know you. I've known you since the first cafe panel is how we met, and we actually met because of 1MC, when it was across the street and I was at Michigan Works, and she was like, hey, but you're talented and you know how to run your photography business. So anyways, we love her.
Thank you so much, Carmen. That's so kind. Thank you.
I mean it. So we've got questions. Timer go. How are we doing? Everybody okay? Yes. Okay, awesome. Some believe that marketing and sales are interchangeable words. True or false? What are your thoughts?
Okay, that's a good question. I'm going to ask the audience to help me out a little bit with this. So when you think of marketing, raise your hand if you think of posting on social media. Does that feel like marketing to you? Most people would agree? Okay. What about running a billboard? Is that marketing? Kind of a type of marketing? Okay. What about actually going out to a pop-up event and selling to people? Is that marketing? Yep. Okay. What about sitting around a table and deciding maybe what your strategy is going to be for launching your product into the marketplace so people can buy? Is that marketing? Yep, marketing, so a little market research. What about coming up with a product to actually sell? Is that marketing? Like sitting around saying, hey, there's a problem. I think I'm going to come up with a product. Is that marketing? Okay, I see some people saying yes, some people not sure. So this is why it's confusing. Marketing is a broad topic, because I just said a whole bunch of stuff. All of that is marketing. So the way marketing is really defined is any time that you're engaged in any activities that allow you to exchange your product or service for money because people see value in it. So sales is actually a part of marketing. It is a part of marketing. But when people in this room, I think, and in general talk about marketing, they usually mean the activity where you attract eyeballs, where you get attention, where people discover you or your product. So for this question, I'm going to say marketing is when you get attention, at least the way we think of it here. Marketing is when you get attention. Sales is how you take that attention and turn it into money. So if you're only doing marketing, if you're only posting, if you're only going out there saying, hey, I've got something, come buy from me, but you never actually say, hey, this is what I have, do you want to buy? Then you're missing a big part, which is the sales part, which is how you make the money.
Excellent. Let's see. How do you identify the problem area for your clients? Whether that problem is marketing directly, their sales strategy, or is it something else?
That's a really good question. So for me, my process is I like to spend time talking to somebody. When I work with a client, we sit down for about an hour and I ask a lot of questions. And so I think the easiest way to really think about this is that you have to have a way for people to buy from you, a process that goes from, I like to say, hi, nice to meet you, to do you want to buy? And so that's your sales process. So some people are doing a lot of marketing, maybe they're posting on social media, but they don't have a direct line from, hey, I liked your post, to how can I buy from you? So through asking questions, we figure out, is it marketing, is it sales? We can fix either one, but which one is it? But, this is the big one, what I have found in the past year working with people is that for a lot of people, it may be marketing, it may be sales, but it's definitely market fit. Has anybody here ever heard of market fit? So market fit is what you really need to do before you launch your product into the marketplace. And market fit is identifying a problem that somebody will pay to have solved. It is coming up with a solution that people like enough to pay for, and figuring out who those people are that will pay for the solution, and then being able to clearly explain why you are the person to deliver the solution. So there's those four pieces, and if you haven't found the balance of those, where you bring all those together, that's where people struggle. When you have good market fit, you know it, because when you're talking to somebody who needs your help, they're smiling, they're nodding, they get it. They want to know what the next step is. If you're struggling to explain what you offer, people just kind of look confused. If people go, oh, that's nice, and you feel like it's more a pat on the head, but not really authentic engagement. And we all have gotten that at some point, right? That's a market fit issue. And so one of the things that I love about entrepreneurship is that it's all about iteration. You try something, you talk to people, either they smile and nod or they look confused, and then you go figure out how to do it differently, better, how to connect. and then you go try it again, you talk to people, and hopefully you get the smiling and the nodding, right? I have found that some clients I've worked with don't really talk to a lot of people because they've got a great idea in their head. I feel like you can talk to people and even sell before you're ready to launch, just to get an idea of what you're doing if people want it. So when I first started my business, I just started coming to 1 Million Cups and talking to people, and I didn't really have my offers or anything yet, but I just started talking to people, this is what I think I want to do. And then people were like, I'm going to hire you. And I was like, I'm not ready yet, I haven't turned this into anything. And they're like, we don't care. And I was like, I'm on to something. So that's market fit, right? So for a lot of people, they skip market fit and making sure people want what they have, and they jump right to marketing, where they go out and tell everybody I'm selling something, but people maybe aren't shaking their heads yes, and instead of iterating, they just keep doing the marketing. But you have to go back and try to get better market fit, and then go out and talk to people. Typically, marketing is the most expensive, as Lisa mentioned, like how much it might cost to make that happen, because you're buying ads, you're hiring somebody. So if you're gonna do marketing, you better have market fit down, and you have to have the sales process down. Otherwise, you're throwing people at what you're selling, and if you don't have a good sales process, they're not buying, you're wasting money. So I always say the correct order is market fit, and then you're gonna do sales, and keep iterating until that works. Then you'll work on scaling it with marketing.
Amazing. Does anyone have any questions for Valerie? One question. We got 2 more people to speak to the room, so.
Okay, so this is a social media platform specific question regarding marketing. Is it better to do a boosted post for a high performing post, or is it better to do a sovereign ad, maybe even with the same content?
I will start with saying social media, everybody in here who knows me knows, is not my jam, except for me to say that social media posting without boosting or paying, it doesn't work in 2025 anymore. So if you're doing social media as your only type of marketing, just posting, you need a different strategy. That's engagement with people who know you. That isn't actually finding new customers. But I'm a marketing geek, I love reading. From what I've read, there's a little bit of a difference in the ads than in actually boosting your post. But the point that you made about well-performing, because I heard those words, you're not just going to take something that you came up with and want to put any money behind it until you've tested it out to make sure that people like it first. There's somebody in the room, who was in the room, Song Tran, who is ads, that is his game. And
There he is, he's in the back. Hey.
Song is all about ads, and if you want to know specifics about ads, he's got a system, a platform for small businesses that's affordable to help you run ads on social, on Google. Go talk to him. I'm not even going to try to claim that space, but I appreciate the question. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Valerie. Give it up for Valerie. Tanisha Molden, come on down. Yes, there's lipstick on all the mics. Yes. Just to be very clear, come take a seat. How are you today?
Great, how are you?
I'm good. I made notes that I'm finding. Here we go. Tanisha Molden helps first-generation business owners safeguard their intellectual property and protect their assets. She aims to empower underrepresented businesses and their leaders to build a legacy that lasts. So, here we go. We got that's you. I made that for you.
That's beautiful.
I made it for you. It's cute. It's good night. She's cute. Okay, excellent. How does someone separate their personal and business assets to protect themselves?
Well, you should have, well, I'm shoulding again, but you should. Basically have a business, LLC, a separate entity created that's separate from you, separate bank accounts. That's one of the foundational things that we do for our entrepreneurs. We really start with the foundation level and build up from there, but that is one of the first things that I would say that someone does to separate themselves, financially, but also start to separate yourself mentally, because then once you get into building the business, you won't take things personal because it's a separate entity, right?
Got it. How do I prepare if I want to attract investors or sell my business later?
Oh, that's a good one. This is my jam. Intellectual property. That is how you separate yourself. So I really believe that each of us have a unique, authentic secret sauce. I like to call it your secret sauce way of standing out. And your intellectual property is one way to help your business stand out from the crowd. How you brand yourself. What is your strategy behind it? How are you going to license your business? The brand and the intellectual property, that asset helps you stand out and helps individuals. I'm sorry. Individuals and investors see you as different. Why should someone invest in you? What makes you different? What makes your business different? When I say you, I'm speaking of the entity we just spoke about. But sometimes it's, they're together. You as the business owner have put sprinkled some of yourself into that entity to help it stand out, and eventually they will start to separate, and that intellectual property will help it stand on its own and bring investors to you.
Excellent, thank you for that answer. What is the process of copywriting? Like, if I watermark my photos and I put them on my website, are they safe? I know this answer, but someone might not.
Yes, so I think I will go more to, there are different ways to protect. I go, no matter what you trademark or copyright, there are various things that you can do to protect your assets, your intellectual property, and then it gets to the point of ownership. So some of the things that we do is help you understand some of the free ways to go about protection of your copyright. You can put, once you create the thing and put it out there, it's automatically copyrighted. But there are things that you can do to make sure people don't copy it. Copycats don't do, or deter them from copying it. But then to take it to the next level, ownership is where we need to be, to file that with the USPTO or the Copyright Registration Office to make sure that you actually own it. So protection is one thing, and that's one thing I would love to make sure that we get across, that protection is one level. The next level, where I call the guardian level, is that you own it.
Okay, so if I have a limited budget, what should I prioritize?
Excellent question. These are great questions. Yeah. What should you prioritize? So we start off actually with a brand strategy. So I work with entrepreneurs to help build out their 3-year strategic plan. In that planning is where we start to identify the brand and also identify the intellectual property. Then we can understand what to prioritize. From that prioritization, then we can determine where to put our time, energy, and attention, including money, to what we need to protect. Because what happens is that entrepreneurs have more intellectual property than they know. And once I get a hold of you, I end up bringing out all that and making them understand you have a lot of things, but what is the one thing that we need to prioritize and make sure that we own?
Whew. I got some work to do, but that's good. Thank you. Last question. What are the most common mistakes entrepreneurs make with contracts or employers? What are the common mistakes for their 1099ers, those mistakes that they make in those contracts?
Well, first is not having a contract, and then second, I would say, you really don't have, you don't have a problem until you do have a problem. So the contract that you Googled or, got offline, or the Michigan company that I was talking to that had the California contract, I'm like, how does that happen? So when that happens, you don't have a problem until you do have a problem. But one of the things I would say is that part of your contracts, when you're developing your contract, at least what I try to do is make it part of your brand. And as I was talking to someone else, how a contract is just a set of words that sets the expectation of this engagement. All you're doing is setting the stage and setting the expectation. And so, for example, I had a client who we're developing a contract. She said nothing was, wrong with the contract. She just needed it to be a Michigan contract, Southern California. That made sense. But also, one of the things that came out is that she was having issues with a contractor. And I said, well, is that in your contract with them? No. Well, you should put in your contract these terms or these things that you want to deter them from doing to make sure that they're aware of it and go over it. Also, I would add that in that same sense, even in, I'm gonna go on the side of client agreements because I think this is important, that I had this conversation with her. And one of the things she wanted to put a mechanism into her contract that she noted to me, I said, put this into the contract, set the expectation, but also it's an opportunity as a sales tactic. Because this is customized in your contract, when you go over the contract with your client, you can emphasize why you put this in here and what made you, why you did this and why you're different. That's just another level of building trust. So I would say don't necessarily use the contracts just to say sign off. Use it as part of your strategy in building your brand and as a sales tactic to make sure that people understand and use it as a form of building trust. So everything is cohesive and used together.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Tanisha. We're going to take one question from the audience. One quickly delivered, straightforward. Is there anybody else in the room? Sir, do you know this woman? Do you know this woman?
What's for dinner tonight?
Okay. She's on it. She's on it like she's on
We
everything.
got one question over here.
So I see a connection between the banker and yourself as it pertains to me. We're a digital startup. We have IP. We also have a founder's agreement. We also have investors, right? So we use our IP as collateral in our investment terms, as well as our founder's agreement that shifts around who owns what. So when you have something as convoluted as that, is that something you work on?
I mean, that's something that you, what do you mean? You as you or me?
You, as
Yeah.
legal
Oh,
strategy.
yes.
Work
So
with founders to untangle or commingle or protect?
yeah, so that is something to actually, you should, what you're doing is, I guess, leveling up and paying attention that it sounds to me that you understand that your intellectual property is an asset. So who owns that asset? So it's basically looking at your being bankable in the banking to see where does that asset go? Where does it bring the most value?
Yes.
Right, so where does it go to bring the most value based upon what you're trying to do in your business? So, some businesses, like one of the things that I am thinking about doing is moving all my intellectual property to a different entity. And so, for example, Molden Law would be leasing to use that intellectual property from that other entity. So in doing so, that other entity, because I'm moving into, because I'm also a business coach, for me to do more coaching, I'm going to go to this other entity, and then that entity will own the intellectual property and lease it. So that's building that up, but also Molden Law already has intellectual property on its own, and it's a professional services company, so that's a whole nother thing. So that when you're doing that, I would look at what the strategy or what your goals are, and what makes sense for that intellectual property to be where it should be held. And if you're looking for funding, how does that look on the, your balance sheet and all that stuff, but that's the banking part, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay.
Give it up for Tanisha Molden. Colleen Thompson is a business strategist that keeps leaders and teams on track. She helps investigate the root issue in small businesses and nonprofits that keep them from success and scale. You help them execute a plan of action and a repeatable process. So, Colleen, everybody, we love her. Take a seat. Our timing is impeccable today. Very impressed. What is strategic planning? I think it's a buzzword that we hear a lot. And can you break it down for us?
Yeah, I think when people think about strategic planning,
They think about this big monolithic activity and a report, and it's in this binder, it's like this, and then you put it on your shelf, right? And it doesn't need to be that. And so just a quick illustration, you know, I come from the corporate world. At one point, our annual planning process for the strategic plan took 16 months. Okay? So how effective was that? Because you were still finishing that cycle before you started the next one. So we moved into more of an agile approach, and I think that's something that can really help business owners. And so the whole point with strategic planning is to really figure out where are you going and how are you going to get there? Do you have the resources that you need? Do you have the people? Do you have the money? Do you have the time? Bringing it all together.
Excellent, thank you. What is the most valuable outcome that you've heard back from your clients that they've received in working with you? And you might have to go like this with the mic.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I've never been accused of being too quiet. I'll answer that with one word, clarity.
Clarity. Everybody catch that? Awesome. So, what if, a lot of us have pivoted. Some of us have worked in corporate America for forever for this big, large company, and now we are building our own thing, and we're like, oh, I have to build my own thing. So what do you suggest we do in that pivot, and what experiences can we take from our corporate lives into building our businesses?
That's a great point. Thank you. And so that actually is my experience a little bit. I have 30 years of corporate experience, and at the same time I was volunteering a nonprofit for 20 years. And one thing I noticed was the skills that I was demonstrating in the corporate world were highly valued when I was doing work with small businesses and nonprofits. And so I saw the pain point, and that was where I really focused my post-corporate work. So I would really suggest, and we've heard that from a few speakers up here, is look for the pain point. What needs to get solved? One of the people I worked with very early on in this journey had the most amazing packaging concept. It was indestructible. You could fold it down. You could carry it and store it. But he didn't know the pain point that he was solving, so he was struggling to sell it. But when he started thinking about other related pain points, he came up with a new product that really addressed it and leveraged some of that technology. So don't be in love with the technology, don't be in love with your skill set, be in love with the pain point.
What advice do you implement for yourself that you tell your clients while you're working with them or coaching them?
So one of the things that's really important when you're in a business is to also think about yourself as a person. And so I think this gets neglected a lot. I would strongly suggest you take care of your health. That's number one. You make sure that you have the right things that you need. You have enough cash to sustain a working vehicle, insurance, all those core things. So it's kind of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Get that stuff handled. But the next most important thing is to make sure this business fits into your personal financial plan and that you know what your exit is going to be, right? So are there any financial planners or exit strategists in the room?
We got one, we got two, we got three.
Okay. Make sure you're talking to those people to ensure that what you're doing is actually going to lead you to an outcome that you love. Because a lot of times when people exit their company, they haven't given it enough thought, they haven't given it enough time, and they're not happy with how it happened.
Thank you for that. Last question. Is strategic planning different for nonprofits than they are for for-profits?
A lot of the mechanics are really similar. So you're really trying to look at, again, what am I trying to do? Do I have the resources to get there? What's my plan to get there? How will I engage the people to get there? The difference with nonprofits is really twofold. One is it's really hard to come up with your metrics of success in a nonprofit world. And a business world is pretty basic. And in fact, if you're not tracking any metrics in your business at all, I'm going to ask you to track one, and that's days of operating cash, okay? Because that's what keeps you alive. That's a common metric for nonprofits as well. But it's really hard for nonprofits to demonstrate success and to understand how their mission is really changing things in the world. So that's a big difference. The other difference is that you know your customer as a business, and it's usually a person, right? They consume the product and they pay for it. In a nonprofit, the person that consumes your product and the person that pays for it are often two different people.
So that makes it a little bit more challenging. Many of the other mechanics are the same.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Colleen, give it up for her. Last question of the day from the audience. Who's got it? Daryl, she's over here. No. You're good.
Hi, this is very exciting to hear about because I'm just entering this. So I'm going to give you just the very basic, as someone who's just entering into a very similar thing with nonprofit strategy and being new to the area, what is one piece of advice for really breaking into the nonprofit scene and being able to engage with such a tight-knit community that is the Detroit nonprofit scene?
I would, that's a great question. I would leverage your background as a volunteer. So as I mentioned, one of the things that kind of gave me a picture of where I could go was the volunteer work I did alongside my corporate job. So I think that leveraging that and trying to look for the commonalities there would be your strength. And there are some great communities. Happy to talk to you afterward about where you can engage. Thank you.
Amazing. That's that. Thank you. Thank you so much. How did that go, room?
Amazing.
How do you feel? We got thumbs up in the air. That's amazing. We're so close to letting you out of here. Announcements, and then a group picture, and then we'll go. Okay, so super fast. Scan this to know about Oakland Thrive. Daryl has a mic in his hand.
Yes, we put on workshops every week, first digital as well as in-person workshops. Of course, August 21st is already passed, but there are some others, and there will always be more. Scan the QR code, it takes you to our website.
We love it. Look at us. Look at us going. Incubizo also has events and things that you want to come to. So, panel, our next panel series is coming up September 11th. It's here in this room. There's food by Chief Fan. If you haven't eaten there, do it. It's delicious. And then Lisa Davis will be back on the 8th. This is like a kickoff party for her Momentum Accelerator. These QR codes can be accessible on the TVs as well, but we're gonna... 2 more businesses can join the cohort. So talk to Lisa afterwards. And with the Madison Heights Hazel Park Chamber, Lisa will be doing a how to monetize on your TikTok here towards the end of September. So this QR code will go to Incubizo's events. They are constantly being posted on the internet because I'm doing it. So don't say you didn't see it. Come and learn some things.
And if you have an event, a business-related event that you would like for us to put up on the wall, let us know, Lisa or myself. But you have to be here to talk about it as well. So if you've got an event and you'd like for us to give you some pub, we love our community, come on out and let us know.
Gotta be here. David Benjamin, he plugged it before, I'm plugging it again. He's got 2 workshops happening, and they are here. So, LinkedIn training workshop, how to leverage those relationships that you have. By doing so, your business can grow. That's why we come here, that's why we go out, that's why we don't just lock ourselves in our basements. So David is gonna help us on LinkedIn. Also, how to connect with influencers. This is the second time he's done this one. This one will be in Royal Oak at Kachatai. I'm gonna pause for scans. So many things. Pictures. So truthfully, every Wednesday you all try to make eye contact with me and I cannot. But today, Naomi of Tahoe Photography is here and she is taking pictures today. So listen to what she's got to say. We're gonna take a picture. Okay, Daryl?
Carmen, thank you. You were an amazing MC today.